Hey, what's up you guys? My name is Vivian from ThePaperLetterBlog. Today I'm showing you how I made this hexagon shaped flip book. In the original video I'm also talking, as you can see by my rapid hand movements, but the footage for this video was around 4 hours, so I decided to just cut it and speed it up. But what I was telling you here is that I had purchased those dies from AliExpress again. I had purchased those dies, they came in, and I was immediately inspired to make a hexagon. Is it a hexagon? I really hope it is. Shaped flip book. So I wanted to use that, and I did the random number drawing thing where I picked a random PO box mail to reply to, and I ended up picking this one from Aditi, which is such a crazy coincidence because in all this time I've only ever received an odd shaped flip book like that once. And then when I decided to make one myself, I picked the person that actually inspired me. Like, that's what I was telling here. It's kind of crazy. And like, I made this back in June, July. So it is a little bit rusty what I'm doing, but I wanted to make a sea-themed flip book because in June, July it was summer and I had all of these pretty sea-themed papers from the Action store. I just decided that I wanted to do something with that. I waited very long with uploading this because obviously, like I said, I made this back in June, July. I waited so long because I was waiting for it to arrive, but after all this time, I think it's best for me to accept that it will not arrive anymore. I think it got lost in the mail somewhere, which is super sad. I always hate it when that happens, but I guess, yeah. And the stupid thing is I've sent 2 PO box replies to India and both of them have not arrived. So, and I triple checked the address and everything, but yeah, I guess I have to accept that. So not all mail arrives, I guess, but I'm still hoping and still have my fingers crossed that it will make it back to my PO box one day so that I can resend it. But until then, let's just accept that this is all I have left of this mail, the video of it. But okay, let me talk about what I'm doing. Obviously, I always try to link everything I've used in the description box down below. However, the paper is from Action, which is a store we have here, and they do not have a website, so I cannot link that. And the dies, I'm also not sure if I can find them anymore. AliExpress, but they're from AliExpress. So okay, but I will link everything else, like the die cutting machine I have and everything. So what I've been doing is I've been cutting paper into that. It's actually an octagon. I quickly googled it. It's called an octagon. Octagon? So weird for me to pronounce. Keep in mind that English is not my native language. In the Netherlands, we call an octagon an achthoek, which literally translates to 8 corners. So octagon? I mean, the Dutchies are definitely a lot lazier in coming up with these names. But all of the papers I used only have one side, are only printed on one side. So what I'm doing is I'm cutting papers to cover up the blank side of the paper, the back side basically as well. And then I had this idea for using that, I don't know if you guys can see, but it's actually kind of vellum paper. It's not actual vellum, it's like translucent kind of paper. But it looks a lot like vellum and it's light blue and it looks really cool. And I had the idea to stamp that with white ink, but then it looks really cool, but then it actually smudges really easily. So I'm changing to a gray ink, which also smudges. I mean, the end result looks really cool, but it is a lot of work. It is a lot of like, it's hard to work with because the ink smudges on this particular material, which is a little bit sad, but in the end I made it work. Just don't go over it too many times. And then I had another idea because I had those the sea themed stamps. I got them from Action, both the wooden stamps as well as the clear stamps, both from Action. And I decided that I wanted to make some of my own die cuts. So I'm stamping on top of watercolor paper with waterproof ink and then I'm going to color them in and I'm going to cut them out so that I can make my own die cuts. And I actually really like that, although as you can see, these particular elements like the jellyfish, always when I forget the word for jellyfish, because in Dutch it's called a kwal. Kwal, I'm not even kidding. Always when I forget the word for jellyfish, I think of SpongeBob, and then I remember jellyfish. So okay, the jellyfish, for example, has a lot of tiny elements that make it difficult to cut it out, but in the end I'm gonna make it work. So this is going to be, as you can see, a large pocket. I wanted to tear the top half to make it look, I don't know, a little bit like a beach or a sea, you know, that white trim. I think that looks really cool. And then, as I told you before, I'm covering up the back side of the papers with some 6x6 papers. And another thing, I really quite like the look of that blue paper, but it's like, it was so hard to work with. I kept smudging the ink and then I kept trying to glue it down, but it would not stay down. Like, I'm using a ruler, I'm using my fingers. I was so frustrated, and that's also why I decided to cut the video, because it took me a lot longer. And as I told you in the beginning of this video, I filmed for like 4 hours, because sometimes people will say, Vivian, I cannot believe how fast you make mail, and I'm not that fast, and I wish I was that fast, but trust me, I take my time, because first of all, I speed these videos up a lot, and second of all, I also, for example, that gluing, that got very frustrating. I just turned my camera off, because you guys don't want to watch me get super frustrated with glue for like a minute. So keep that in mind, you know, it's not about speed, it's not about that at all, it's just, I speed my videos up 5 to 10 times, so when you watch a 20-minute video, it's at least 100 minutes long for me. So then came the point where I realized that you cannot actually turn a octagon, you cannot actually turn an octagon into a flipbook. So what I did is I cut these leftover pieces of paper and I turned them into like a little flap so that I could, and then I glued the flap, I punched holes in the flap, I glued the flap onto the flipbook, onto the pages, so that I could put rings, or I think I end up putting brads through it, because otherwise I had to punch holes in the octagon and that would not have looked that nice. But I got this idea from someone, I think my pen pal Emilia, I'm fairly certain, who did that with envelopes. So when she did an envelope flipbook, she actually punched the holes not through the envelopes, but through like an extra piece of paper she glued onto the envelope. Really hope that makes sense, but as you can see now, this is kind of what I'm doing. Oh, hey Sage, are you gonna walk over my keyboard? Of course you are. There's no food. Goodbye. As soon as she realizes there's no food, she's gone. Okay, so what else? I was distracted for a little bit, first by Sage and then by these maintenance guys, because our sunscreen, something was wrong with our sunscreen. I'm not gonna bother you with that. That took a while, but I'm back now. I actually picked up an extra shift today. I did not really pick it up, but basically they did not have enough staff, and then there was also someone sick, so they really needed some people to cover dinner, and I just decided to work an extra few hours because I'm already working. Even without this day, I was working 4 days this week, and now to a lot of people 4 days is not that much, but to me it actually is a lot, because I'm still sort of recovering and still working with my anxiety and all that. So I actually agreed. I talked with my supervisor and we agreed on 3 days a week. I always work Monday and Wednesdays, both very, very calm, kind of relaxed days. I mean, sometimes, of course, we work hard, but it's usually not crazy busy. And then that one extra day I'm going to work is still optional. Like, they decide week by week when I will be working an extra day. Last week I actually worked the Friday, which is apparently the busiest day at my new job, and it was crazy. It was so busy. I worked, I think, nearly 10 hours. But after a while, like when the storm kind of passed, like most people were gone, or at least the big groups were gone, I was unable to speak. I tried to ask my supervisor something, and he was looking at me like, Vivian, what the heck are you trying to say? And that's just what happens when I'm tired. I find it hard to form normal sentences. So that really shows how tired I was. And yeah, it was a little bit insane. Like, I'd never worked a day as busy as that day, and it does scare me a little bit. Like, I also have to work on Friday this week, and I'm already a little bit scared. But I also know that I managed, like I survived. Of course, I was super tired, and my anxiety also got in the way a little bit, but in the end, everything went all right. Everyone was happy with me. I didn't do like my best job. Like I wasn't 100%, but I was maybe 85%, and that's good enough. I mean, working hard is enough, and I shouldn't force myself to try and be perfect every time. And also, when I came in for work on Friday, my other supervisor and one of the guys I work with a lot, they were like, haha, like, hey, Vivian on a Friday, ooh, because I already knew I was going to be so overwhelmed. So yeah, they didn't expect me to like fully survive on my first day, so on my first Friday, I mean. So they didn't expect 100% from me, so I shouldn't expect 100% from me either. But then this week I'm working 4 days, because next week, oh, that weird drink, I made iced coffee because it was summer and very hot and I wanted to have coffee, so I made myself some iced coffee. But this week I'm actually working 4 days, because next week Gijs and I are going on a little trip. Yay, we actually planned a little like mini holiday. We're going away for 3 nights to Sicily, like Palermo, Sicily, which is an island near Italy. So yay, pizzas, pastas. Here we go. We're going to have a little mini celebration because we had our 6-year anniversary last week. 6 years, kind of crazy, but we decided that we should celebrate that, so we're going away for a couple of nights. And then my cousin is actually cat sitting and house sitting, so she will be in our house with the cats, which is very nice, because I don't know, I wouldn't want to leave them in, like, I wouldn't want a neighbor or someone to look after them. I want someone who knows cats, who knows our cats. I want someone who I know will take good care of our babies. So my cousin is actually cat sitting, so I don't have to worry about that. And then we are leaving on Wednesday and we're coming back on Saturday. So I also think that means that I won't have a video on Friday, or even maybe I might like do some extra uploading this weekend, but I don't think so, because I also have to work 4 days. And actually 5 days, because I'm going to work for a couple hours tonight. So just the dinner rush. But it does mean that I'm working 5 days this week, which is kind of crazy. Like, to a lot of people, 5 days is so normal, maybe even 6 days. But to me, it's just a little bit scary. But I guess I'll be all right. What you saw me pick up there, by the way, is a sea-themed sequin mix that my pen pal Emilia made for me. It's really awesome. Really pretty. Emilia made me a sequin mix, and then I added some more blues and whites I had to that mix as well, in a little vellum envelope. So that's a little bit of my life update. I'm very busy with work, but next week I'm only working 1 day, the Monday, which is my standard day, and then we're off on a holiday, so you also won't see me a lot then. Although if you follow me on my personal Instagram, I'll probably share a lot of pictures. I will, if I don't forget, I will link my personal Instagram down below as well. And if you cannot find it, you can also go to my blog Instagram, which is linked down below, and then it's in the bio. Very good story, Vivian. So I made that little sequin mix. See, this is why I'm really sad that this mail got lost, because I'm actually very pleased with how it's turning out. I put that little sequin mix in that little sequin mix. I put the sequin mix in that little bag, and then I added those die cuts that I hand stamped, painted, and then cut on top of that with some washi tape. I actually think that looks really cute. And then I wrote Ship Ahoy. I don't know why. I don't know if that's like a Dutch thing. Ship Ahoy? Maybe it is actually. Is that something that pirates say in every country, or people on boats say in every country, or is that like really Dutch? I didn't even think about that. But then I'm picking up some of my La Papier letter writing paper, which also had a sea theme, like a beach theme, which was kind of perfect. And I'm going to make a belly band. Is it called a belly band? I always call it a belly band. I'm going to make like a little pocket there for the letter. But yeah, I'm all over the place again. I often apologize for being all over the place, but if you guys watch my videos more often, you already know that that's kind of how I am. So a lot of working. I only have one job now because I quit the cat cafe officially now, which feels good. It feels good to be able to focus on just one job instead of multitasking, because now I'm working 5 days, but I know the drill kind of, and I don't have to switch between workplaces, which is actually probably better for me, although it scares me a lot. And then this week I'm working Friday, which is the busy shift, and I'm also working Sunday, which is another busy shift. So I am trying to do like as much self-care as possible to keep my body and my mind from getting too tired. I had a little bath yesterday, which was really, really nice. And then today I'm just trying to relax and do some cooking, and then I'm gonna work. And I actually asked Gijs to join me after work, because hopefully I'll only have to work a couple hours. And then I asked him to join me so that we can have a drink and he can sort of meet my coworkers, which should actually be really, really fun. He has already seen them once when we went for dinner with my parents. But I don't know, I have two lives now, kind of. I have my home life with my cats and my boyfriend and my family, of course, and then I have my work life, and I would kind of like them to meet. Although, like, my work life meeting my cats is going to be difficult, but I guess you know what I mean. Then now I'm doing something that I find very, very, very cool. I'm using a glue pen. Like I said, I will link everything down below if I don't forget. And then I'm using the most beautiful glitter I have ever owned. The name, like the color of the glitter is even, the series of glitters are even named after sea creatures, which makes it even more applicable. I use the glitter on the jellyfish, and that looks really, really cool. And I'm now going to fussy cut it, and then I'll show you again. But I honestly, like, it is always sad when meal gets lost, but when you see what got lost, it's even sadder. Like, I'm actually very proud of this project. It doesn't happen often, but I am very proud of this project. So I'm fussy cutting, and I think I'm going to cut that short as well, because it takes a lot of work, but it looks so cool. Am I cutting this short? I don't think I am, but okay. There it is. I did not end up cutting all of the individual pieces out, because I would have destroyed it probably, but it still looks very cool. So now I'm just assembling, and I end up using brads. But the ones I had, those very cute light blue ones, but they were actually too small, like the Flipbook fell apart. And then I also had these bright orange ones that I painted blue a little while ago. I don't know why, I just wanted to try and paint them, and I painted them blue, so now they're sparkly shimmery blue, which actually looks very perfect for this project. And then I'm gluing down another vellum quote. Like, I am still struggling with glue. Like, using stick glue for vellum is horrible, but if you use liquid glue, it warps, and if you use tape, you can see the tape through the vellum. So I'm still trying to figure out the perfect medium to use for vellum quotes, but okay. I'm adding some pip stickers, and some die cuts, some feather die cuts, and then some other bits and bobs. Wow, I'm seriously already struggling with my words, but I guess I am a little bit tired. I tend to overestimate myself. Like, I've only had 1 out of 5 work days, but I didn't sleep very well last night because I'm worrying. And then also today we had those mechanics in the house, which actually takes a lot of energy for me to have people I don't know in the house. I don't like that, so I shouldn't overestimate myself. I should just take my rest. I'm a lot like Noos, our cat Noos, in that way. I don't like loud noises, I don't like change, I don't like strangers, I don't like people in my house. I like things to be, I like my routines, you know. Noos still has her routine. The winter routine is now that she's back to sleeping on top of me when I wake up, which is very cute, waking up with cat snuggles. Oh, I wanted to say one more thing. I'm almost at the end of the video and I'm now realizing I wanted to say thank you all for all of the lovely comments, especially on my last video. I read all of them, I just haven't been replying, and that's not because I don't want to. I definitely want to. It's just the way I'm tripping over words when I speak. That also happens when I write. Like, that's one of the big things. Like, I can't seem to get across what I want to say. But then also, if I'm completely honest, I've just been a little down still lately, like not feeling my best self. So, and I guess I'm not the only one, but one of the first things that gets like that I stop doing when I'm not feeling great is replying to my friends, like replying to messages, and then in a way also replying to comments. I don't know. I want to let you know, first of all, I'm sorry that I'm not replying, because you guys take the time to write to me, and I wish I could get myself to reply to you guys. But I also wanted to let you know that I do appreciate it all. I read all of them. I smile with most of them. I really do appreciate it. So thank you so much for, even though I'm not replying that much, continuing to send your support my way. That was today's video. I really hope you liked it. Give it a thumbs up if you did, and I will see you again very soon. Okay, bye bye.